My friends, today I'm going to be ranking 123 altcoins across various narratives for their potential in the 2025-2026 bull run. Now, I am going to be ranking them from my head. So, I am going to be showing you a ton of cryptocurrencies, and I am going to be ranking them for their potential in the coming bull run, which I believe is going to be coming towards the end of the year, stroke beginning of next year. And I'm going to be giving them all a ranking. God tier means that it's one of the strongest coins, like it's going to be having relevance come what may. You know, people are going to be talking about it. They may or may not get anywhere near 100x, but they are going to be making some form of decent multiplier. Strong are cryptocurrencies that will require potentially some YouTubers talking about it, but because of the narrative that they're in, because of the stories they tell, they have got very strong potential to do anywhere up to 100 or 1000x. Go either way are cryptocurrencies that I'm on the fence with. Like, they may not be in a current narrative. So, for instance, a gaming cryptocurrency or a Polkadot-based cryptocurrency. If there is a Polkadot narrative or a gaming narrative, then this could shoot up. But if there is no gaming narrative, it will literally drop, probably die. Then I'm going to be talking about crap coins. So coins that I just think are they're just junk. Right? It doesn't matter what narrative they're in. The story they tell is rubbish. And it's not really worth buying. And then sell this which is basically, this is such a dog, just get rid of it. Okay? So, we're going to be starting, let me just make sure that you can hear me and everything and all is kosher. But I've decided not to keep doing all of these 100, 1000 X's because, you know, I've done so many of them. Yeah, this seems to be working fine. So let me just share this over to the people of Twitter because this is live right now. Should have done a pre-populated message, but never mind. And if I could just bother you to smash the like on this video if you love content like this. Okay? So, we're going to be starting with Bitcoin. And Bitcoin, you'll know, is God tier, right? Because it's the #1 cryptocurrency. It can't really be deposed. It's got an ETF now. The likelihood is this is just going to go from strength to strength. I eventually see this going to 1 million. I don't see it happening in this bull market. But I do see it happening in the future, probably in the next 5 to 10 years. But I reckon it's going to go to around about $200,000, $250,000 in this bull market. NEAR is very much a layer 1 for AI. As a result of that, I would say that this is also God tier because, you know, as far as AI infrastructures are concerned, this is pretty much sitting at the top. And NEAR is a very strong cryptocurrency. If you've been watching me for the last 3 years, then you would have seen that most of Team Super are able to get into this at, you know, under $1 or just over $1. And I think this one is, I think it's very, very strong. I don't necessarily see it doing a 30x or anything like that, but I could still definitely see it doing, you know, a 10 to 20x. ICP, I think ICP, regardless of its price action, I think this is also a God tier cryptocurrency. I think that ICP is essentially the Bitcoin of computing. So where Bitcoin leverages all of the participants to create a payment network, what ICP does is it basically leverages all of the data servers connected to it, all of the computers that interact with it, and it creates this ultimate data server, this ultimate decentralized data server that therefore acts as the infrastructure of Web3. And I just don't think that people have really caught on to ICP because it's not one of those hyped cryptocurrencies that the biggest YouTubers are talking about. But I think that ICP has got a lot of potential. They have got Caffeine AI coming up, which is essentially going to be a pump.fun with AI, right? So you're going to be able to create entire projects with Caffeine AI. It's like ChatGPT. You give it a prompt where you say, create a meme coin that's, you know, that incorporates some of the most bullish qualities of the existing meme coins, and it will come up with a meme coin. You can create a website, you can host that website on ICP, and essentially you could create the entirety of the current internet on ICP. So this is really the home of Web3. I think that this has got 10 to 20x potential. XRP, I personally think it's crap. Most people would put it in strong or God tier. I think that XRP is really centralized rubbish. And the only people that love XRP are the people in the XRP community, the XRP army. The people that think this is going to go to $15, $500, all those people, right? The people that just blind faith see XRP when they open CoinMarketCap, see that it's like in the low dollars and think, oh, well, Bitcoin's at $110,000, so this could go to $110,000. No, it's never going to happen. Like, people don't understand market cap. And that's why they love ICP, because they don't understand market cap. They just see a cheap coin, and this is the #1 cheap coin. But as far as I'm concerned, it's crap. Would I say sell? Probably not, but I do think this is crap. Pepe, God tier. There's not really much more to say about that. I think that Pepe is this cycle's Doge. S&P 6900, I think this is strong. Okay, so this is a meme coin that really has come to prominence because of Murad. Murad is the top meme coin influencer in cryptocurrency. Everybody listens to him. So as a result of that, with his 700,000 plus community size and audience, he's just going to be shelling S&P 6900 all the time. All the time. This is his main coin. And as a result of that, I think this is very strong. I don't think this is going to do 100x. Yeah, he thinks this could be the first $1 trillion meme coin, or $100 billion meme coin, which would therefore make it 100x from here. I don't think so. But I do think that it wouldn't be unreasonable to expect this to maybe go to 40 billion or something like that. So I would say that, this has probably got a good 20x plus. Ethereum, God tier. Ethereum is the #1 operating system. It is, it's nothing like what it used to be back in 2017 when I first started. This was the ultimate operating system to create cryptocurrencies, to invest in a whole ecosystem of cryptocurrencies. This started it. This started the altcoin market. And now it's got an ETF, and it's really the signal of altcoin season. And I think that Ethereum will always be, it'll be like the Windows of cryptocurrency, where you've got Solana, which is kind of more like the Apple, which is like much higher quality, much faster, just better overall. This is the original, as Windows will probably be seen as the original. Toncoin, I think this is crap. This is a layer 1 that was brought out by the Telegram company. So it's the Telegram Open Network. I am not a big fan of it. I don't think there's anything particularly bullish about it. Earlier in 2024, this had a season, something that ICP has not had yet, but Ton had a season, it kind of blew up, and then it kind of went down. I think it's junk, personally. I don't see the point of this cryptocurrency at all. Telegram exists as an app that we all use. Why would we need to invest in a network as well? I just don't see the point of it. And I definitely don't see why you've got something like Ton Open Network that is in the billions when the Telegram company is only just around about in the mid-billions. So why should a network no one uses be so overvalued? So I think this is crap myself. Aptos, I'm going to say this could go either way. So Aptos and Sui came out at the same time. They both utilise the Move programming language. But Sui is the one that's most exciting. Aptos has not really had, it's tried to have a bit of a season. There were meme coins for a short amount of time. They didn't do very well. None of the coins in the Aptos ecosystem did any sort of, significant multiplier. So I think this could go either way. This could have a season just purely because there are few cryptocurrencies that utilize a new programming language that's actually faster and more dynamic for apps to be created on. So I'd say this could go either way. I wouldn't say it was crap, and I wouldn't say it was strong either. Cookie 3 is the next. I would say that Cookie 3 is strong because this is an AI cryptocurrency. It's now on Binance. And basically, Cookie 3 is the Google of the cryptocurrency market. So if you are a coin creator and you are looking for analytics that help you sell to your audience best, Cookie 3 is where you go. But Cookie 3 have also introduced kind of mindshare ranking, how to find these top AI coins based on, certain metrics. You need the Cookie 3 token in order to be able to access those. As I said, it's on Binance, which means that when new retail come in, they're looking for AI coins and they don't really want to go on Phantom or any of the decentralized wallets or decentralized exchanges, they might see a lot of appeal in Cookie. So I think Cookie's very strong. I think it's going to do well. Brett, I would also say this is a strong one because this is the #1 meme coin on Base blockchain. Base is the Coinbase blockchain, the layer 2 for Ethereum. And as far as their ecosystem is concerned, you can only really rattle off a few names, I would say. You'd probably say Brett, Toshi, I can't really think of any more, to be honest. Virtuals as well. So Brett is really the number one as far as meme coin is concerned, and because of the lack of decent coins on base, the money flow, if Coinbase has a really, really strong season, the money flow is going to be highly concentrated on the top coins that exist on base. Brett's one of them. So I think it's very strong. Quant, I would say sell this shit. This stuff has just not been interesting since 2019, I would say. It did have a strong market in 2021. I think that's the last of it, to be honest. So Quant is a multi-chain layer 1. So you're meant to be able to have multi-chain apps, and they can port to any network. I just don't think anybody cares for this. Also, the price of it, nobody likes. So a new retail investor coming in, they'll see that this is like, what, nearly $100? They'll be like, nah, forget it. I can't buy millions of that with 100 quid. So they're just not going to bother, or $100. Ondo, I would say that this is bordering on God tier. I would say this is the strongest RWA play that exists right now. And I would say that, you know, even from where it is right now, I could probably reasonably expect a 20x. So therefore, I would say it's strong, possibly God tier, but we've only had one market to analyze it. So I wouldn't necessarily say that this is particularly strong. Housecoin, love Housecoin. Housecoin is the opposite of Ondo, but operate in the same market. So if you think about, you know, the coins that did absolute monstrous gains in the last kind of 6 months, I would say they were AI meme coins. So Goatius Maximus, AIXBT, AI16Z. You know, these coins did over 1,000x. And the reason why is because they were AI stroke meme. They weren't just AI, and they weren't just meme, right? So it made it much more accessible to the layperson. So the layperson will be thinking, I don't really want to understand technicals. I just want to have exposure to AI or whatever. And a meme coin makes it much easier for somebody to have exposure. And Housecoin does the exact same thing for RWA. So I find myself more bullish on Housecoin, enjoying holding Housecoin way more than Ondo, even though Ondo is strong technically as a RWA tokenization platform. I think Housecoin just makes more sense. It kind of is, you know, way more relatable to people because people are thinking, right, one Housecoin equals one house. That's awesome. You know, that's the kind of branding that really made XRP pump. Now, I would say that I'd say Hex is crap, bordering on sell this shit. But, you know, Richard Hart has been exonerated by the SEC. So, you know, something that Richard Hart does very well is getting on other people's streams like Crypto Banter and, you know, maybe other, you know, influencers that do podcasts or interview people. And he tends to be very good at that when the market goes bullish. In my personal opinion, Hex has had its time. Hex is a blockchain certificate of deposit. It's meant to be DeFi platform. You essentially stake Hex and you will receive Hex as a reward. And they've always had relatively decent APR on it. But, you know, the hexagons, they're kind of annoying, to be honest. So I would say this could go either way, bordering on crap. So maybe, to be fair, I'll put go either way. But I'm not really sure about this. Sui, God tier. This is a layer 1 infrastructure that is the next Solana. So this one I think is going to do a 10x from where it is right now, potentially a little more, give or take. It's already a high market cap, but I think this will be strong for multiple cycles. GTAI could go either way, in my opinion. So GTAI is a virtual assistant, a DeFi virtual assistant, but it's an AI DeFi virtual assistant. So go either way, right? What I've noticed in the AI trend is that really the ones that pop off the most are AI agents, not necessarily your broader AI cryptocurrencies. Although this is an AI agent, I think most people would see this as a more technical, less fun kind of cryptocurrency because of the logo, for instance. But I think it could go either way. I think this one could perform really strong, or it may just go down the tubes. Arbitrum, this once upon a time, I loved Arbitrum. This is probably one of the fastest layer 2s for Ethereum, but it's extremely high in market cap, came out extremely high, and as a result of that, it's only really made a loss for anybody who's invested in the last kind of 3 years. And although it has probably the most total value locked, layer 2s are just not a thing anymore. People do not care for layer 2s. So as a result of that, I'm going to put it in crap. Then we got Pith. Pith is like the Solana version of Chainlink. And, you know, this has been actually quite a boring hold for me. Like, pretty much everything in my Phantom wallet has blown up except for Pith. Pith is just kind of seen as a more technical cryptocurrency. And in this generation of kind of, the degen investing, short-term investing, easy to understand cryptocurrencies with normie appeal, I just don't think this one hits really. So I would say this is going to go either way or crap, but I wouldn't say it was strong. Sonic 10 Obama Inu, otherwise known as Bitcoin. I think it's actually Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 Inu. This is a cryptocurrency that is a meme coin that is arguably just a bunch of nonsense, right? It's got the Bitcoin as the ticker symbol, and it has Murad as a person that's a holder and likes to talk about it, likes to present that it's got sticky community and all that. But to me, I think it's a go either way or crap. I don't think it's a meme coin. It doesn't really talk to me at all. It does not talk to me at all. But it could go up just simply because of the fact Murad's talking about it. So it could go either way. AI Pad, this is one that I spoke about a lot in the past. Basically, it's a launchpad for AI projects. And if you are likely to see the likes of Seedify do well, and if launchpads aren't particularly dead, what Pump.Fun is it has changed the game completely. It allows people to really get in the trenches and invest in the lowest possible value of a cryptocurrency in any narrative, right? Now, popularly, it's used for meme coins rather than anything else. But people go on Pump.Fun has changed the game completely, right? Where it has rendered launchpads less bullish, because launchpads used to be the 2021 version of the ICO back in 2017. ICOs was the initial coin offering. We used to get into coins at their lowest price. Then launchpads overtook that in 2021, 2024, 2025. Now we have got Pump.Fun. Having said that, what you've got with Pump.Fun is a lack of regulation, i.e. or management, should I say. There's no one actually filtering out any of these coins, and 99.9% of them will go to zero. They will die, right? Only a few of them actually migrate and become something good. And so AI Pad or launchpads, they have the potential to be that Pump.Fun, but at the same time, a filtering system. So if you go through a launchpad, the launchpad does the vetting, looks at the tokenomics, studies the team, and sees if a project is worth listing. As a result of that, AI Pad could go either way, right? It's in a strong narrative, AI. It's a launchpad, which has typically been a very, very bullish narrative. So it could go either way, right? Literally, it could be either strong or crap, but it could go either way. Virtuals, I would say Virtuals is God tier. Virtuals is the #1 AI agent infrastructure, creation platform. Is still the one that's most highly utilized and the one that has produced the highest market cap AI agents. So you can't really argue with Virtuals. So as a result of that, it is the leader. It's the Bitcoin of AI agents. So it's God tier without a doubt. WAS Studios, this could go either way. I personally will put it in very strong because this is a cryptocurrency 300k market cap, and it boasts an Arcadia of games. So it's like Gala, but a very significantly reduced in market cap, like 1,000x cheaper than Gala, right? So if you were looking for a gaming kind of ecosystem, like Gala, there's very low cap. WAS Studios is it. But without a gaming narrative, this could go either way. This could either shoot 100x, or it could go and stay where it is, right? I don't think it's going to go much lower. Playable, similar to WAS Studios. This could go either way. Again, this is a AI, this is a gaming stroke AI Arcadia of games. Okay, so they've got a suite of games. What I like about game developers is that they hedge their bets. It's kind of like investing in Rockstar Gaming, right? So if GTA 6 doesn't do well, you've got GTA 5 to fall back on. That kind of thing, right? So I like these kind of game developers, and this one was born out of Avalanche. So these guys have got a very fast chain. They've now got their own chain, and I think this has got incredible potential if there's a gaming narrative. Hyperliquid, this one I would probably say is strong, although I personally feel it's crap. So what you've got is, this is a DeFi cryptocurrency, okay? So Hyperliquid is really derivative exchanges and everything, decentralized DeFi, basically. And all of the top YouTubers are talking about it simply because they got massive stacks in private sale, and so they're going to try and keep this alive. But as far as I'm concerned, DeFi is a failing narrative. Like, it's just not sexy at all. AI and memes is where it's at. So as far as I'm concerned, you know, Hyperliquid, it is potentially strong, but I say it could go either way. I think it's only strong because of the YouTubers that cover it, but the narrative it belongs into is crap. So I'd say it could go either way. Celestia, again, I would say it could go either way. Celestia is the first modular blockchain infrastructure, so it allows you to basically Lego brick your ideal blockchain. Okay, so you can get the consensus from one blockchain, you can get the security from another blockchain, you get scalability from another blockchain, etc. Right? So it allows you to allows the business to build their blockchains, right, in a modular fashion. So modular means you just literally have it in pieces, right, and you can put it all together to create something awesome, right? But Celestia, again, it's like kind of not in that. People are not gravitating towards layer ones or infrastructures like they used to, right? Unless they've got a compelling narrative. So as far as I'm concerned, you know, NEAR and ICP, SUI, very compelling narratives. You know, next Solana, 2 strong AI and Web3 infrastructures here. And then, you know, Celestia, very high market cap, so therefore not the best ability to make gains. Beam, again, could go either way. Okay, you've got the strong YouTubers covering it, but it's high in market cap, right? So this is probably going to do a 10x max anyway. So I would say that 10 to 20x maybe max. It's an infrastructure for gaming. So if you want to develop gaming dApps, go on Beam. Their branding is excellent. They really are. If there's a gaming narrative, this is going to be the first one to pop off. But I don't necessarily see it doing much more than a 15x, I'd say, on average. Then we've got Pulse Chain. Now, Pulse Chain is kind of, again, within the Richard Heart ecosystem, so just like Hex. So whereas Hex is a DeFi product, what you've got with Pulse Chain is you have got a infrastructure for Richard Heart's cryptocurrency. So it's a layer 1. It's faster than Ethereum, but comparative to Sui, Solana, it's absolutely slow as anything, right? Actually, amongst all of the layer 1s, so looking at Aptos, Say, Phantom, I can literally list any single layer 1, and it's much better performer, much faster than Pulse Chain. Again, the Pulse Chain ecosystem, again, it's kind of a complete mess. I personally think the Pulse Chain is kind of borderline both of these. Could go either way. If Richard Heart really gets on, really does well as an influencer in this ecosystem, then it could do well. But he hasn't really made any leaps or bounds now because there's so many personalities now in crypto. Back in the past, I was one of few. Richard Heart was one of few. Now he's not one of few. Now he's one of many voices that people care about. So I don't think that people are going to be in a rush to have him in. It could go either way. I'm bordering on crap as well. Block Lords could go either way. This is a really, really top-notch game. Very cheap, actually, in terms of market cap. New as well. But I just think that unless gaming makes a comeback, this isn't going to go anywhere. But I do think that there's going to be a mega gaming season. I do think that's going to happen. And I do think this is going to do well in it. At least a 10x. Blender, again, this could go either way. I would say crap, but you just never really know what's going to happen with Blender. So Blender is like Render. It's decentralized GPU. So it is much cheaper than Render. However, the team at Render is more of a blue chip team. The team at Blender is more of a degen team. And I don't know whether they're going to be bringing it back or not. It could go either way, in my opinion. I'm personally holding this. But based on, if you were to look at it, if I was to look at it today as a new investment, I would say this was crap. But having been around for a while, I think this could literally go either way. EOS, I think it's crap. Alex Becker talks about it, but it's an absolute piece of shit coin. Doge, and just to inform you what EOS is, EOS tries to be a bit of everything. It's basically advertising itself as a AI layer 1, right? But, I mean, they've been many things in the past. They were previously a video streaming service and more social-fi. What was it? What did it used to be called? Can't even remember what the social... Decentralized... DeSo. Right, so it was a DeSo play once upon a time. And then they saw where the money was going. They rebranded. Alex Becker talks about them. To me, I think it's crap. Doge, God tier. I'd say not a huge multiplier, but it's the Bitcoin of meme coins. Jasmy, pile of shit. This is Internet of Things cryptocurrency born out of China. Absolute dog. You go to the website, it's the worst website you'll ever see. And it's just like XRP. It's just got an army of people that because of its price, people think, oh, this is going to go to $1. It's never going to go to $1. It's absolute pile of crap. Then we have got Bonk. Bonk, I would say, is strong. Bonk, I would say, is strong. Bonk is the first meme coin on Solana. It's basically the Shiba Inu of Solana, right? Or the almost like the Doge of Solana, right? And it just is much more stable. Lots of people know about it. Good, strong commercial name. It's strong. You know, I think it's probably fetch a good 10x maybe. I would say that Colin AI. So Colin is an AI agent that's extremely impressive. Like, you could talk to her about anything crypto related. Ask her to do market analysis, your portfolio, look at your portfolio, because she is attached to your Solana portfolio. She's a Solana AI agent. So if you have her in your wallet and you use her, so you can talk to her right now, use her as a virtual assistant. You know, she is basically meant to be the first AI key opinion leader, right? So she's looking to be an influencer in her own right, basically be like, you know, me and all other crypto YouTubers, but with a more data-driven analysis rather than a hype or emotional-based analysis. So I think she's very strong. I think this is one of the most undervalued AI coins right now. Been on Crypto Banter. It was on Crypto Banter where I saw her, and I thought she was way more intellectual than Crypto Banter, had way more arguments. He was trying to pose arguments. Should I buy this or buy that? She had way better arguments to buy this or that. And I think she's extremely strong. And I think only in the future you're going to see way more innovation happening with her. So I would say, this one has got the potential to 100x. Render, I personally think Render kind of goes here in terms of gains potential, but in terms of where it sits in the market and how the market perceives it, it's god tier. It is the leader of decentralized GPU, and it's kind of like the Nvidia of crypto. So it's gonna have a lot of the top YouTubers constantly talking about it, putting in their thumbnails to get attention, and that attracts more people to Render. Pudgy Penguins is a meme stroke NFT cryptocurrency. Pudgy Penguins was actually in 2021 a NFT collection, just like Bored Apes and CryptoPunks, but they got taken over by another team, and that team made it more commercial. Now they have got agreements to bring out a toy collection in Toys R Us and Walmart, and just as a brand, they look great. You know, look at that artwork. So clean, so, precise and so fun at the same time. And I could see this being a toy. I could see this doing, and all, Elio and Alex Beck already speaking about it. And yeah, I think this one's going to perform really, really well. GigaChad, I think also very strong. I think both of these have got the potential to do a 25x. GigaChad is a community cult meme coin. So people who join GigaChad are basically gym-based people, alpha males, masculine males. It's basically that Andrew Tate energy kind of cryptocurrency, or the kind of gym bod, gym shark kind of people, right? That's GigaChad. Now, Giga has brought out their own clothing brand called Giga, and they're looking to take on Nike, right? So it's really a movement. I think it's very, very strong. And also, Murad talks about it. So I think this one's going to fetch a good 20 to 50 to 30x, I would say. Avalanche. Avalanche is kind of god tier. This is the #1 gaming infrastructure. So, guns created on them, player ball created on them. A lot of gaming ecosystems are created on Avalanche. Avalanche's main strength is as a gaming infrastructure. So, as a result of that, it kind of has a god tier placing because this is the #1. This is where all money flow will go into for Avalanche-based or gaming-based coins on Avalanche, right? This is where the money will kind of drift from coins made on Avalanche into Avalanche. But as far as big gains are concerned, again, it could go either way because it relies on a gaming narrative. Now, I think that this should go here. I mean, Render goes there because AI, everybody loves AI, everybody loves meme coins, everybody loves AI agents and these top infrastructures, right? But this one is really contingent on gaming having a season. So it could go either way. This could do a 20x. Tau, this is a god tier cryptocurrency. So Tau is the Bitcoin of AI. Simple as that, right? So Tau leverages all of the participants' neural capabilities. Okay, so it's kind of like a decentralized brain, as it were. And as a result of that, you can create probably the best kinds of decentralized apps. A lot of decentralized AI apps have already come out of Tau, for instance, neural AI. And Tau, I think, is just extremely strong. I covered Tau very, very early. I'm the earliest person to have covered Tau, and I saw the potential in Tau a long time ago. And I think that Tau, this one's going to fetch a good maybe 5x from here. I think it's strong. It's, probably most likely to just keep growing. Like I said, it's got Bitcoin capabilities of just appreciating. And these guys have also got a 4-year cycle as well in terms of how coins are kind of put out into circulation. Apu, I think it's crap. Again, this is another one of Murad's meme coins. This is a kind of friendship-based cult community. So it's kind of like a friends network, but it's not that great, right? I think as a character, it's basically copying Pepe, trying to give it a new name. Doesn't work. Fartcoin, I have to say this is god tier. So Fartcoin is the god of meme coins that are purely absurd and shock value in nature. As a result of that, these guys have extremely high mindshare, like the highest, probably higher than most cryptocurrencies right here. So Render, Tau, Fartcoin has way more mindshare. This is just one of those coins. If you tell somebody you've got Fartcoin, people will just be shocked, and people will never forget it. I saw get Fartcoin very early. I didn't cover it. As such. I covered it in a kind of live stream and said this had potential because I thought this was brought out by the same team that had ASCII, or whatever it was called, AISCII, right? Because it has this exact same branding, but just more fun as a concept. And I think this one's just going to be very, very strong. You just can't forget this. And just the engagements they get, it outperforms most cryptos. Moonbeam, again, this could go either way, stroke crap. Okay, so Moonbeam is a layer 1 built out of Polkadot. So Polkadot was a darling in the kind of 2020, 2021 bull market. This time around, no one cares. People like simplicity. Solana and Sui provide that simplicity. The ability to create coins, very, very sharpish, get it out there and get people investing in it. Previously, you had Polkadot that was creating Polkadot's a layer 0, right? So layer 0 means it provides all the kind of infrastructure you need for a layer 1 and for everything on top of that layer 1. So this is essentially the physical, the tangible nature of Polkadot's technology, right? Which is meant to be 100,000 transactions per second, which would arguably put up with the likes of Near. Having said that, this is only going to pump if Polkadot has a pump, and it could go either way. Polkadot 2.0 has been on the roadmap for probably a year now, and still hasn't come out. And if it comes out during a bullish time, this one could do probably a 20x instantly. It's just simply because this has been so suppressed over time. But it could go either way. Like, you're literally gambling at this point. Gambling on an outcome that may or may not actually happen. Low Cap, I think, is very strong. Low Cap is a meme coin that is simple in nature. It is just purely a low cap, right? And it appeals to the people that look only for low caps. The people that aren't looking for any of these. These are all high caps. And as a result of that, a lot of the retail cryptocurrency audience are looking to invest in these, right? Because this is what is kind of promoted by most of the top YouTubers. But the people that are degen, the people that look for low cap is the ultimate coin for them. Because it is what it says on the tin. It's low cap. And this appeals to the degens that are looking to outperform all of the crypto retail that are investing in the bigger coins, some of these coins as well. So I would say this is strong, extremely high multiplier potential. Optimism, crap. So Optimism is the king of really optimistic roll-ups. So Optimism, that's why it's named Optimism. And it is a layer 2 on Ethereum. Again, Ethereum, it's not had a very, very strong bull market. Solana has much stronger. And anything associated with making Ethereum run faster, no one gives a crap about. And Optimism, again, come out with a very high market cap. I bought it at the lowest price it ever was, about 40 cents. I don't think it's far from that now. And I still hold it, but I'm not increasing on it. I don't think that this is that strong. I don't think that people are going to be ultra bullish about it. And to be honest, I've never heard any of the top YouTubers talk about Optimism. Like, it's just gone downhill. Blub, this was the coin on Sui. So this was kind of the, I suppose, the bonk of the Sui ecosystem. So Sui is a water chain, and Blub is a water creature, right? A fish, or bluefish. And I like the branding, and it's very, very strong as a brand. I think Hippo is possibly higher in market cap. I haven't seen lately. But again, it could go either way. Sui, I think, is going to have a very, very good 2025, 2026. I think it's going to go into probably $30, right? Now, you would ultimately think, or you would logically think, that therefore it will take everything in the Sui ecosystem up. Not necessarily, right? And Blub is one of those ones that is one of the older Sui meme coins, but there could be better Sui meme coins coming up. So therefore, could go either way. Dasher could go either way. Dasher is an AI agent infrastructure. Again, it's the name of the platform is Vaifu, which is VVAIFU, which is where you can create, just like on Virtuals, you can create AI agents with multiple skill sets and qualities. But these guys did a 1000x in between October and December, I think, or between September and December last year, and it's simmered down in terms of interest. So it could go either way. I think that if Virtuals is going to do well, this could do very, very well as a degen play, but there are other ones that could also do well. Beat AI, I think this is could go either way or strong. So Beat AI is a way of being able to create cryptocurrency songs, right? So I believe with eBeat, you need to have the lyrics, I want to say, and then it will create a really strong beat for you, right? And this is one of the better dApps in AI, right? So this is a good way to create music. I really like it. No, actually, you don't need lyrics for eBeat, because I was able to create songs in about 2 minutes. They built the song for me. I told them what I kind of wanted it to say, and they built that exactly for me. Brilliant, I don't know if they're innovating so much, and with projects like this, if they fail to get momentum and volume, they just up and leave. I don't think that these guys have left yet, but I think as far as music apps are concerned, and you've got the likes of Audius out there, and that's shit, right? That's a crap music app. This is way better. So I think this is strong personally, but I'm going to could go either way, just purely because it's an AI dApp, right? It's not necessarily one of the stronger AI agents or has the wow factor. Actually, I do think it has the wow factor. But I think it could go either way because it relies on way more attention and more people covering it. Mirai, I would say, is a strong one. So Mirai is the low market cap version, the actually extremely degen market cap version of Neural AI. So Neural is an AI generative tool that allows you to create in-game assets. This one allows you to create in-game assets, in-game worlds. It basically allows you to create a game in its entirety. Now, whereas Neural AI is in the near 100 million, this is not even a million. So I think this has got potentially 50 to 100x potential. So I would therefore say this is very strong. TikTok AI, or Tai, I think this could go either way, right? So TikTok AI, I saw they had their account suspended on Twitter. I don't know if they come up with a new one. But this allows you to create TikTok videos, right? It allows you to communicate anything you want via TikTok, these kind of AI agent TikTok influencers. So if you've got a script, give it to the AI influencer, they will create a TikTok video that is brilliant, really well optimized, got subtitles, has got B-roll footage. It's great, I think. And this is under 100k market cap at this point. I bought this at kind of 400k, and I never bought any more. So basically, anybody buying it now is buying it 4x cheaper than I bought it for. And I think this one could do one of two things: go to 0 or do 1000x. I think that one of the things that lets it down is actually the name. By having TikTok in the name, they are infringing on copyright. It doesn't, you don't get big companies really coming to cryptocurrencies a lot. Having said that, Elrond had to change their name to Multiverse X, so it does happen, and this could be clamped down on as a result. So I think it just go either way. I don't think it's crap. I think it go either way. Berachain, I do think is a little bit crap. So this is one of the newer layer ones. Was really highly hyped, as being a proof of liquidity cryptocurrency. All right, so you can only really launch apps as long as you've got liquidity. So therefore, any coins that come out should theoretically be more secure. It's either strong or crap I can't really decide which it is. I think this is hyped nonsense myself, but it could be strong. Being brutal, I don't hear anybody talking about it, but this could be like Luna. People only talk about it when it becomes a narrative. So if this has a season, I'm going to put this in, go either way. All right, but I don't think it's strong necessarily. Aria, I think that Aria goes in strong. Aria is pretty much exactly the same as Colin. So it's an AI agent, an autonomous AI sentient. So what Aria does is she does AI Twitch streaming, right? So she is the new generation of Twitch streamer, right? You only have to watch one of her Twitch streams to see how awesome she actually is. Her capabilities are very strong. She's got the wow factor. When people are looking for degen cryptocurrencies to invest in during the bull market, seeing this at a low market cap, this one could go nuts. This one could do a 30 to 100x. And you may think that's ambitious, but look at AIXBT. Look at AI16Z. They went to billions from like low millions, right? And they are not that great. Like, I've looked at AIXBT and I find it to be literally the most overvalued piece of crap that ever existed. And that went to $1 billion market cap. And if that can get to $1 billion, Aria could, in my opinion. So I think Aria is very, very strong. Toshi, I would say strong-ish. Like Brett, kind of occupies the top 2 spots of base meme coins. And Toshi is the cat of Brian Armstrong, who's the founder of Coinbase, right? So Coinbase is going to be pushing this. They're not going to be pushing Brett. Brett is going to do well because of Crassius Clay and just naturally because of money flowing into Base. People need that to put that money somewhere, and Brett is an attractive option. But Brian Armstrong, if he actually did promote anything, or Coinbase, if they actually did promote anything, it would be Toshi. So as a result, I think that's strong as well. I think it's got a good 20x potential. Gunzilla. This one could go either way. Gunzilla really should be in God tier, because Gunzilla is the Call of Duty of cryptocurrency, or the Fortnite of cryptocurrency. Like, this is the big potential game, right? I think it's a first and third person shooter gun game, right? That's released on the Xbox, PS5, across all major outlets that you can get a decentralized game. And these guys got a soundtrack by a Hollywood music producer. And the quality of it is just incredible. Having said that, this has flopped because there's no gaming narrative. So I think that only purely because of AI and memes just have longevity. Games, it's going to be I think there's going to be a gaming ecosystem. That's why I have invested into guns, because I had the node, but I don't care about the node. I do know the node is actually producing guns for me, but I wanted exposure to the actual coin. So guns, this could go either way. I think this is personally strong myself. I'm going to put it in strong, to be honest. I'm going to put my neck on the line. Fight 95, very, very strong. I should have very, very strong as another ranking. But Fuck 9 to 5 is basically a community cult coin based on embracing the rebellion against the 9 to 5, against being a full-time employee, right? So most people are employees, and most people come to cryptocurrency to get out of the 9 to 5. And that's what Fuck 9 to 5 is about. It's about getting out and breaking out of the 9 to 5 life and being financially free and having generational wealth. And it's got very, very, very strong, community spirit as well. You only have to look at the Twitter, the Telegram. These guys are extremely active. Very, very people and person based cult community, just like All Will Retire. And I think has very strong potential, particularly when you look at it compared to S&P 6900. Because SP 6900 is also a kind of financial freedom movement. They're looking to flip the stock market. And they've got that letter and number combination, just like Fuck 9 to 5. So I think Fuck 9 to 5 has extremely strong potential. Zero Chain, I think this is crap, personally. Once upon a time I covered it and thought it was okay. It looked like an updated version of Moonbeam, where it's multi-chain, but no one cares. It's too technical, no one gives a crap. Leah, this is an AI agent, virtual assistant, the first video AI agent. She has actually got videos across TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and she's going to be available on everything as well. She's going to be available eventually live streaming on Twitch, live streaming on YouTube, live streaming on, or streaming on LinkedIn, on TikTok. She is basically looking to be the ultimate visual, physical kind of AI agent. She's got the wow factor big time. And you can talk to her right now. You can't really talk to Colin in a physical form, in a visual form. She's kind of voice AI at this point. Aria, you can talk to her on a Twitch stream, but she's not readily available to you. But you can, but Leah, you can make an account and talk to her right now. You don't need any tokens. You just need an email address. You can talk to Leah right now, ask her anything, ask her to analyze the market, ask her to tell you what is a potential gem based on metrics that she's looking at right now. Very, very strong. And over time, the token's going to have way more utility. The more tokens you have, the more you can talk to her. The more tokens you have, the more you'll be able to get out of her. So you'll be able to get portfolio management, maybe trading suggestions as well. So I think Leah, she is so strong. I think, easily 100x potential. Millennial, strong again. So this is a community cult meme coin. So this is about people that were born or really enjoyed or appreciate the millennial generation, which is the early 80s to the late 90s. So this really appeals to millennials, so people born in between 1981 and 1998, I think, and Gen X, who are people who were born prior to that generation, and even Gen Z. Because I see so many Gen Z people walking around in Nirvana, and they will walk around in Tommy Hilfiger that looks like a shell suit. So 90s is coming back. 90s and 80s were very, very inspirational times. And a lot of the fashion that's coming back right now is 80s and 90s focused. So as a result of that, millennial it allows for people to invest in a fun coin that embraces that culture, items, films, music, media of that culture, and enjoy it. And it's a very fantastic culture. I watched a video today on YouTube with a guy who has decided to live in the 90s, bought a VCR player, bought one of those big box TVs, and decided to live in the 90s. And he loved it. Back in the 90s, you didn't have all the social media, everything you wanted at your hands. You had to really work for stuff. You had to record stuff off the radio. And this is just a coin that celebrates that segment of time. Algorand, this one I think is go either way. Algorand is kind of like the more legitimate version of XRP, right? So this is less centralized, pretty much the exact same quality. So this is meant to be for instant transfers of huge amounts of money across banks, right? So it's got that kind of bank ISO 20022 quality standard for the transfer of money internationally and at low fee. Just much better than XRP. But do I think it's got huge potential? Do I think people love and care about it? No, they don't, right? And therefore, I think it could go either way. But I don't think it's crap. Shiba Inu, I'm not going to say... I should have had another category, which is like meh. And I think that Shiba Inu is kind of meh. It's not crap, but it's just... no one cares for it anymore. Like, it's just not cool anymore. It'll probably go up maybe 5x if Doge goes up, just purely because of osmosis in the meme ecosystem. But it's just not got anywhere near the kind of bullishness it used to have. I think this is actually the bull market for cats. I've got still quite a few, so I'm going to try and really train through this. 0x0, it's kind of an AI infrastructure. Alex Becker talks about it. I don't actually like it very much. I don't think many people really gravitate towards this. So I think this is one that could really spike just purely because Alex Becker talks about it, but I don't think it's actually that great. Big Time, this is, again, another gaming arcade like Gala, games developer, extremely high quality games. Like, I personally think this qualifies as strong. I say could go either way because if there's a gaming narrative, this will blow up. I know it will blow up because you've got Elio, Alex, even Crash's Clay talks about Big Time. So I think if there's a gaming ecosystem, this is going to get tremendous momentum. If there isn't, it's very difficult to know, to be honest. But because I've put Guns here, I'm going to put Big Time here, because although it's not as good as Guns, it's kind of the same ilk in terms of the developers behind Big Time. Cardano, well, I would say that Cardano is obviously God tier. You know, I don't think that they have anywhere near the appeal of Solana and Sui. You know, I think even when it comes to the meme coin ecosystem, I only really hear people say SNEC. I don't see anybody say anything other than that. So it just goes to show it's not really that strong, but it's God tier. You know, it's been around a while, stood the test of time, withstood multiple market crashes, and they are still going strong. The Cardano army are still strong. So I would say, yeah, God tier. Retardio, crap, to be honest. It's a Murad meme coin that's really meant to embrace the kind of retardio nature, which I have to be politically correct there, of people in the degen community. I don't think it's extremely strong. Chain GPT, crap, to be honest. This is AI launchpad, but nothing really ever good came out of Chain GPT. And I do imagine Joe Parry's will talk about it, and some other kind of YouTubers of decent size may talk about it, but this has only really gone down, so don't really think that's great. GigaChadet, I think this is a strong cryptocurrency. So aptly, this is just under GigaChad. So GigaChad is for the kind of masculine men, then GigaChadet is for the kind of strong women. And this is meant to symbolize that behind every strong man, or behind every successful man, is a supportive and strong woman, right? And that's what she symbolizes, because she is the original photographer. So her name is Krista Sidmalis, and she is the original photographer of the GigaChad model, right? So she essentially created GigaChad through her works. So she's got, so she is celebrated as the icon of GigaChadet, but GigaChadet is meant to embrace the strong females in crypto, of which there are. A lot of the females in crypto are strong females, because you have to be in this market, because you have to have thick skin. And as a result of that, I think that this is the only community for them. You know, what makes a good cult community movement is appealing to a target audience that are uncatered for, and that's what GigaChadet does. That's why I think this has got very strong 30 to 100x potential. Chainlink, well, Chainlink, it can only go in God tier, can't it? Chainlink is basically seen as the father figure in both DeFi and RWA. Chainlink is a oracle, and it's the #1 oracle. Basically, it operates across all of the top crypto apps. You know, Binance, Coinbase, CoinMarketCap, everything. Like, it basically takes on-chain data, Arkham Intelligence probably as well. So it takes data from off-chain to on-chain, right? And that is very, very important for any of the crypto apps to work, right? But not only does it do that, you know, generally it does it in DeFi and it does it in RWA, and RWA is strong. So I think that's why this has got strong potential. Tars AI, I think Tars AI is extremely strong. Tars AI is the equivalent of Tau, but without, you know, kind of the reputation and the amount of attention and shilling that it's had. But it's basically the same kind of cryptocurrency. It's the Solana version of Tau. It's an AI infrastructure. You have a suite of different, you know, a suite of different tools for your dApps, all right? Whether that's decentralized GPU, AI agent, kind of functionality, ChatGPT integration, or anything like that, you've got that with Tars, right? So Tars, I think, extremely strong. This one's going to really perform in the bull market. Chill Guy could go either way, in my personal opinion. Others would say this is strong. Most would say it's crap. So therefore, either way, this is one of those TikTok memes that were created of just a chill guy, right? So it's just a meme about being chill, calm, and collected, right? So, like for instance, when the market is going down and there's a lot of fear, you just got to be a chill guy. So it's got its place. So I think it'd go either way. I don't think it's necessarily strong, but I don't think it's crap necessarily. Chorus AI, I think this could go either way, stroke strong. So Chorus AI is pretty much like eBeat, but in my opinion, better. These guys allow you to produce a song, publish it, share it. You know, this is a very complete way of you being a music creator, right? They've got, you can either not have lyrics, or if you do have lyrics, they'll make an awesome beat to it. These guys are awesome. I think it's a very, very strong cryptocurrency myself. Having said that, it's very, very degen also. But I think, yeah, Chorus AI, I think it's got incredible potential. There's an AI agent season as violent as one we had before. This one could 30x at least. Top Hat. I would put Top Hat in strong, personally. Top Hat was the infrastructure behind Colin AI, GemGPT, and a few others that are AI agents, right? So it's the same as virtuals, but for Solana, all right? So this is AI agent specific. So to create AI agents, give them all forms of functionality. You'll be able to operate on YouTube, have a Twitter account, be an AI sentient and autonomous. You've got that with Top Hat. And at this point, it's got a very, very low market cap. And I think that this has got strong upside potential when the bulls come back. Sensei, I would say, also is pretty much the same. Sensei allows you to immortalize people. So this is about immortalizing people into AI agents, right? So you can immortalize anyone. You can immortalize somebody before they die and then be able to talk to them after death, right? So if you've ever watched Be Right Back, which is a Black Mirror episode, which is where you can still talk to the people, that loved ones that have died, that's what Sensei concentrates on. So it's all about immortalizing people, replicating people in an AI form so that they have the exact same characteristics as the real person. And I love it. I think this is a very kind of futuristic cryptocurrency project that you can't but be kind of, you can't but love the value proposition. AI16C, this is kind of like a protocol for AI agents, stroke, under the guise of an AI meme name, right? I think that this is strong-ish. I don't think it's got great multiplier potential, but I think it's a fantastic protocol. You know, Tars even uses it for people wanting to create AI agents. So this is one of the tools available on Tars. So if you like Tars, I think Tars kind of covers it. And this is just the technology. And so this made a huge multiplier. This is like about 300 million market cap. I don't think it's going to do... I think it could possibly squeeze a 10x, but I would find it difficult. So I'm going to put this in, go either way. I'm not going to say it's crap. I'm not going to say it's incredibly strong either, though. It's a very tough one for this one. I say because of the lack of multiplier potential, I'm going to put it in, could go either way. Andy, I do think is strong because it's a very, very low cap version of Brett. So Brett is near billions. This has gone into like 4 billion or so. And where Andy is right now is 1,000x less than that. And Andy is the best friend of Brett. And they're both on the same chain, right? The only difference is a huge delta in terms of market cap. But artwork's fantastic. Memeability is fantastic. Very similar actually to Brett, right? It's just this one doesn't have anywhere near the kind of attention because it doesn't have humongous accounts talking about it. But Joe Parry's, me, Crypto Gains are all investors of Andy. So I imagine this is going to be spoken about in the bull market. And I think this one could do a 100x. Cookie I've already spoken about. I'll put that out of the running. So let me go through this. So have I not covered Dog with Hat? No, I haven't. So Dog with Hat is one of the newer meme coins. I say new in terms of it came out of after the last bull market. This one already made a kind of 400,000x. No, I think it actually made more than that. This one, I think this one made over 1 million x. I think it had its time, but I think just like Bonk, it's strong. It's got a strong identity. You know, somebody went out on the streets and said, "What would you rather invest in?" And they gave the logo of Ethereum and the logo of Dogwith, and 100% of people chose Dogwith. Why? Because it's just got that normie, funny appeal. It's a Shiba Inu. It was with a hat. You know, it's simple as that. Simple. It's a Dogwith hat. That's it. Doesn't really have to say anything more than that. So I'd say it's strong. I wouldn't put it in God tier, but I wouldn't say it's crap either. I think it will still do well, but I think this probably got a 5x, 7x maximum. So I wouldn't say it could go either way. I think it'll go up okay, but I wouldn't put it in God tier yet. Aether, decentralized GPU, basically just like Render, but for gaming and AI apps. I think this one has not had the best start because it's more technological. What you'll see with a lot of these coins currently so far is they've all got faces or they're all cult communities. Whereas Aether is more of a technological cryptocurrency. But it's AI. This is AI, decentralized GPU. It basically is Render, but probably more accessible to the layperson. This one's going to get talked about because this one's had a huge amount of influencers I know of size that got into this. So when the time is right, I think this one's going to perform very, very strong. Sonic, this is a layer 1 infrastructure, just like Solana. This one's capable of 100,000 transactions per second. Sonic was previously Phantom. Very, very strong scalability this one has got. And it's got the godfather of DeFi, which is Andre Cronje, as the founder, and he has returned to Phantom. So I think that when we see the bull run going, we see certain layer 1s doing very well. I think that Phantom's going to be one of them, particularly because this is just so highly VC backed. And I just they're gonna be pushing this through all YouTubers. So yeah, I think this one's god tier. Decentraland could go either way. Decentraland is a metaverse, decentralized metaverse, and it's really had a lukewarm bull market. Like, no one cares. Without metaverse season, it's not going to do well. But with a metaverse season, this could do a 20x. So think about it. You know, this did a 140x in the last metaverse season, and if there's another, this one could do well, but it could go either way. Destra Network is probably strong just because of Alex Becker and Crypto God John. Otherwise, I would put this in crap, because it's just like one of many others, to be honest. So I'd say what holds it down is it's nothing exceptional. What holds it up is Alex Becker and Crypto God John. Having said that, no one's really buying Alex Becker coins right now. So, and he has constantly shilled this. Like, I think people have just become part of the community, got burnt, and just left it. And as a result, I don't think it's that strong, to be honest. Kai Network, oh wow. I think Kai Network is strong AF. So Kai Network, you saw the explosion of Cadena in the 2021 bull market. You saw the explosion of Casper in the 2023 coming out of the bull market. This Casper did a 100x, and it's basically a proof of work, highly scalable cryptocurrency, a highly scalable layer 1. Now, Kai Network is basically the fastest of all, 50,000 transactions per second, a proof of work system that is multiple kind of parallel chains going on at once. Okay, so it's an efficient proof of work, is what this is. And really is an updated version of Casper, a very low market cap. So I say this one's very, very strong. And I am a big holder of Kai as a result. I think this is going to do really well. I wouldn't put my money in Casper. I put my money in this. Right, All Retire. Very strong again. This is another one of those cryptocurrencies that are part of a cult community, right? They're creating cult communities. And as Murad said, the biggest meme coins are going to be the ones that create a cult, are all centered around a movement. And All Retire is about retiring from cryptocurrency. So I will retire, you will retire, all will retire. That is what All Retire is about, right? So you hold this coin and you will retire in this bull market. And you will break out of the 9 to 5. You will break out of, you know, having to rely on a boss and all that kind of thing, and having to ever have to work for money. That's what All Retire is about. They've got a very strong community. You only have to go on Twitter, and they've got people holding up the boards, holding up the signs saying, I will retire, you will retire, all will retire. Or we will retire, all will retire. So extremely strong. I think it's got, you know, 50 to 100x potential. Engines of Fury has to go either way. Extremely excellent graphics, top-down gun game. Kind of top-down, kind of apocalypse game. I think this would perform so much better if there was a gaming season. This would just absolutely rip the roof off. It could go either way. I think this is either a 50x or it will just kind of stay where it is, go a little bit lower. Kaiken. What can I say about Kaiken? So Kaiken, this is one of the Japanese dog breed Inus, right? So Shiba Inu, Akita Inu, Kendo Inu, Hokkaido Inu, there's another Inu. All of these were released as dog coins in the last bull market that all went over 300 million market cap. All of the Inus went over 300 million market cap. The only one that actually was never brought out was Kaiken, which is the last of the Japanese Inus. Now, with Kaiken, dogs, I think, are not as strong as they were, as I've said with, you know, Doge and etc. They're not as strong as they were. You know, Popcat and Mog, showcasing that cats are really this cycle's potential gold mine. Dogs aren't as much. Now, with Kaiken, these guys were CTO'd. But the person that CTO'd it has got a ton of other projects, right? Now, my personal bugbear is when a person that runs a project has other projects that therefore dilutes their attention on the main project. And Kaiken, when it came out, I was a very, very strong promoter of Kaiken under its previous developer. And the previous developer rugged, basically, and the CTO took it over. And they turned it into a kind of Flocky-esque branding, which I really liked. But I think that the current, the person that ran the CTO just needs to concentrate on Kaiken. If that's possible, I think this will be very, very strong. But if they're like just, kind of diluted by other projects, I don't think it's going to be that strong. So I would say this one is one that could kind of go either way, right? It could go either way. This one could absolutely melt faces, or it could make people just go, dope. Fight! This is, I wouldn't say crap. I wouldn't say god tier. I wouldn't say kind of strong. This is kind of meh, in my opinion. I think this is going to 10x, just purely because this is the Donald Trump coin. But I think it's already high in market cap already. I'm going to put it in, I can't put it in god tier. It doesn't belong there. But I would say that it's just off god tier. Flocky, I would say crap, personally. It's got a big community. Flocky is essentially the derivative of Shiba Inu. So Flocky is one of the most famous Shiba Inus, which is Elon Musk's Shiba Inu, Flocky, right? And when Elon Musk introduced Flocky to the world, Flocky Inu was created. These guys came out, advertised all across London. I know the developer the marketer very, very strong in 2021. This time around, it's done okay. Maybe crap is too harsh. I wouldn't put it in god tier. But they've come up with a load of other products. I'd probably put this in go either way. Like, I don't think it's going to do extremely strongly, but I don't think it's going to do too badly either. Maybe crap is too harsh. Gala, again, could go either way. Very high market cap. Not got the interest it used to have. This was one of the big darlings of 2021, one of the biggest gaming ecosystems. They got a ton of amazing games, great quality, even some licensed games. So this puts them right in the top echelons of game developers. Having said that, just lost the hype. Already high in market cap already, and there's no gaming narrative. So I say go either way. Hedera, I think this one is god tier, personally. So Hedera was initially one of the fastest directed acyclic graph layer ones. So DAG infrastructures are non-traditional blockchains. So blockchains are typically blocks that are attached by a chain, right? Blocks created, it's chained to the new one, and ultimately it creates a holistic ledger of all financial transactions. DAG infrastructure is different. This is a real-time acroneous parallel blockchain, so or decentralized ledger technology. So what this does is it processes in real time. It's not put into blocks. It's just processed in real time with no real kind of going into a block structure, right? It just gets processed then and there. And that's what equates to as very fast transactions. Again, very like Algorand and XRP, fast borderless transactions, very, very cheap. Have got somewhat of an ecosystem, but if I was to ask you what is a meme coin on Hedera, you couldn't tell me, right? But these guys have really concentrated on RWA and rebranded themselves as the RWA infrastructure. And as a result of that, I think that this is god tier. I think this has got 10, 20x potential. PAL, it was okay once upon a time. Alex Becker still talks about it. I don't know why he doesn't just ditch this shit, to be honest. I think it's crap myself. Mavia, I think this is strong, to be honest. I think this could do well even without a gaming ecosystem, but with a gaming narrative, that this one will pop off. So I like Mavia. I think Mavia is very, very good. Suppoman, strong, in my opinion. This is a meme coin based on me, but it is to it encapsulates all of the believers, all of the degen investors, all of the people that are like me, that are investing in the low to micro cap cryptocurrencies, wanting to make Incredible returns. And this is not my meme coin, which allows me, therefore, to talk about it. Because if this was my meme coin, then I'd probably be in breach of some Securities Act. But I didn't create this meme coin. But I believe that this one has got incredible potential. Because at the end of the day, it's tied to me. So therefore, it's got kind of legitimacy and trust attached to this coin. So it's got the goodwill. Plus, it's a very, very low market cap. Under $1 million. I think this one's got 100x potential in the bull market. Star Heroes, I think this one could go either way. I think this one could do a 50x, or it could really just bleed to zero, depending on if there's a gaming narrative. But the gaming narrative has to hit in 2025, 2026. If a gaming narrative hits in 2030, this is long gone. Bloodloop, same. Very, very strong cryptocurrency, just like Fortnite. This could go either way. I personally think that Bloodloop's incredibly strong. Incredibly strong. If Avalanche and gaming have a season, this one's gonna pop off big. That's all I gotta say. This is just got huge potential. Bloodloop. It could go either way though. I personally think this is strong AF, like Mavia, but because it's attached to Avalanche, probably not got the Mavia appeal. Like Mavia's on ETH, so it's much easier to run. This is not as easy to run. Engine, sell this shit. Dead. Yeah, Engine was a gaming ecosystem infrastructure, just absolute shit now. No one cares for this at all. Mutable X, go either way. Again, I would put this in God tier. Because as a gaming play, this is probably number one. This is probably the Bitcoin of gaming, really. So Immutable X is a layer 2 for Ethereum that basically gives you gasless transactions or zero cost transactions. But I just think it could go either way at this point. Casper? I think that Casper, I hate to say it, it's kind of strong. I'm going to put a go either way, really, because it's had such a big run up already. I'm not sure it's got much ahead of it. Litecoin, sell this shit. Sharp AI, I would say that Sharp AI is very similar, actually, to GT AI, GT Protocol. You know, it's a very, very strong super app in AI, but it's not necessarily just, it's more concentrated on, you know, decentralized DeFi. So AI decentralized DeFi, right? So it's kind of a little bit like Hyperliquid. So I think it's very strong because it's got a very low market cap. And if Hyperliquid does well, this should do well. Especially with an AI element. But it's not... It's bordering. It's bordering. Strong. I'd say go either way at this point. Because it's not been too bullish in this market. Whereas all of these coins, save for a few, like Aether, Kai, Big Time, Mirai, all of these coins have performed very well despite altcoin market absolutely sinking. So where right now people are nursing losses, most of these coins are up, right? So that's showing you that the appetite is right there. But Casper has just gone down with everything else. So I think it could go either way. Mantra, just sell this shit. Mu, I think Mu is strong. Mu is a cat-based meme coin, just like Popcat and Mog. Momates could go either way. These guys are still very active on Twitter, even though their AI agent infrastructure, and this is meant to be the first modular AI agent infrastructure. So you've got your AI agent, you create a base model, and then you add programs to it and teach it to do all these various autonomous tasks. I think this is going to be the next Virtuals, but they kind of fucked up their launch. They're still around, so this could go either way. This could either do a 1000x or go nowhere. Mog, I would say Mog is strong, borderline God tier. I'd say God tier. Ass, well, what can I say about Ass? Ass is very strong. Very strong Ass! So Ass really wins one of the battles for most memeable, most viral, most attention-worthy and shock value cryptocurrencies. Because if someone says, oh, what cryptos have you got? If you say Cardano, Phantom, they're like, oh, okay. Oh, weather's nice. But if you say, I've got Ass, if you say I've got fuck 9 to 5, you know, these are coins that people are like, huh? Wow, there's a crypto called that? I want some, right? And ass is a very visual cryptocurrency as well. Because you go on it, there's gifs of ass, pictures of ass, videos of ass, celebration of ass. My best ever call was tits. That was the exact same thing. One of the only two parts of the female anatomy people care about. Tits and ass. Oh, and feet if you love it. But yeah, tits and ass. And tits did a 500 million valuation. And ass at this point is 2 million. Right? I think ass is going to be extremely strong. 100x potential for sure. Because it's just got all the attributes of a meme coin that makes you pay attention. And that's what crypto is all about. Paying attention. Nakamoto Games. I'm probably doing them a bit of a disservice here, but I think that's crap. Nakamoto Games, just like Gala, a concoction of games. I didn't ever really like it. Nero, I would say, could go either way. Nero was the successor to Kabosu, who was the original Doge character. The one that's photographed with much wow and much gains and all that shit. And Nero was the successor. The Shiba Inu that they got after Kabosu. And this started off very strong, and hasn't really. It has its good days and its bad days, but it's not strong like these, And again, it's dog, so it's okay-ish. So I'd say go either way. Neural, I would say Neural's very, very strong. It's got Alex Becker. It's got Elio. It's got we'll have all of the people connected to them as well. Talking about Neural. Neural's very strong. It's got Overdose. Loads of influencers going to be pushing this at the right time. Like, it's still got relevance. It's still very strong. I look at it on my portfolio and it's got a high value attached to it. I think it's going to go back to its former glory, if not better. Omega Health, very strong. This is the first AI doctor, so it will be able to diagnose you. So it'll be the first diagnostic AI. You give it your symptoms, it will tell you what the potential problem is, what the potential cure is. It will also do a wellness schedule for you and make sure that you're doing the right amount of exercise for your weight, the right kind of maintenance for your body, given the weight, the height that you are. Brilliant, highly toxic gains, violent gains. I'm expecting from Omega Health. PayPay. I'm going to be honest, I think PayPay's crap, right? I originally nearly got involved in PayPay. Like, I was nearly one of the cabal that would be pushing PayPay, but I didn't agree to the terms, so I didn't get PayPay. But that was at a time when PayPay, so PayPay is the Chinese Pepe, right? So it basically coattails on the back of Pepe's success. But back in the day, this was when there was such a big China narrative. So right now, you've got more of a USA narrative. So where you've got Donald Trump and, potentially these USA cryptocurrencies are going to do really well. If you're based in the UK, you're not going to have to pay any gains, capital gains on any of the gains made on USA-based cryptocurrencies. Like USA coins are the in thing now. Maybe a year ago, China cryptocurrencies were the in thing then. When they were really heavily promoting exchange platforms in China. And on the back of that narrative came PayPay, which is the Chinese version of Pepe. But since then, no one really cares about the China narrative. And even with bans or whatever crap they come out with, I think this has a very short shelf life to be able to make sustainable gains. Like the likes of Dog Whiff and Bonk. These are sustainable gains. They're evergreen. Whereas Pepe relies too much on a narrative. So, and I know the developer as well. I'm not going to say anything, but I'm not a fan of it. PopCat. I think PopCat is god tier. I think it's an extremely strong cat narrative. This is the Shiba Inu. Or the Doge, one of the two. Right, so these are basically the Doge and Shiba Inu of the last cycle. I'm very confident of that. I think these two are just strong. I love the cat narrative. There haven't been many strong cats, actually. But, these two really stand out above all cats, and the money flow will go to them. Corpo, I really like them. Again, Games Arcade, they got 3 really cool games. They've got Citizen Conflict, which is basically like Fortnite. They've got Animate, which is basically like Pokemon. And they've got another, I can't remember the name right now, but it's basically just like the Fall Guys that you can play on Xbox and PlayStation. And I think it's very strong. If there's a gaming narrative, this will pop the hell off. particularly as they have now incorporated AI agents into their ecosystem, and they have a layer 1 called Toy Chain, I want to say. And yeah, I think it's overall a huge project, but it's not going to get any form of spotlight until there's a gaming narrative. Morph AI, I think that this one is it's either this one or this one, okay? So I think this is very strong personally. It went up to 25 million very recently because of me and Crypto Gains. And I would say that if these guys innovate, it's strong. If they don't innovate, it could go either way. But they need to just do a little bit more than the voice syncing. They need to just add a bit more wow factor. They already had the wow factor, but I think it just needs a little bit more. I think Say is not quite god tier. Kind of strong. Yeah, I would say that Say is strong. I would say Say is a DeFi base. Well, was a DeFi base layer 1, and then they turned into a general use case layer 1, right? And they've got heavy VC backing. Lots of the top influencers are in this. I'm a holder of this, but still not as excited about this as I am others. I'll say strong-ish. Okay, it's right on the bottom of the strong category. GigaChad already done. Sigma, again, I think this one's strong. I think this one's got GigaChad vibes, but it's probably a little bit more friendly. Yeah, I love the icon. It's got Christian Bale as the American Psycho, which is really the epitome of kind of the kind of yuppie, entrepreneurial, kind of psychotic, degen type person, with a strong mindset. That's what he kind of encapsulates, calm mindset. Like when he's handed that business card in the opening scene of American Psycho, he's just cool. He's sweating, but he's still cool under pressure. And that's what Sigma's all about. It's all about being cool under pressure, having a strong, ambitious mindset, and just being Sigma about it. Not being alpha and being rah, rah, rah. Just being cool and controlled. And at the same time, you have everything under control. So I love the Sigma brand. I think it's great in terms of, cult kind of connections, cult appeal, viral appeal. Yeah, so I think that one's a strong one. And again, it's another one of Murad's. Synverse, again, could go either way. I made a big bet on this because I believe this is the GTA of crypto. Because if you look at it, it's got the mafia, it's got all these factions, all these different story modes, and it's got a free roam mode. So it's basically GTA of cryptocurrency, right? I love it. It's been around a couple of cycles, but it's its lowest price ever. If this was to get to the price it got to at the end of the last cycle, this would be 1000x. So I've made a bet that this one's going to do well if there's a gaming season. If there's a gaming season, really could go either way. I think this one will absolutely explode if there's a gaming season. Sensei I've already done. What is this one? Oh, Limpid. This, I think, is very, very strong for RWA. So this is a currently under $1 million market cap for a tokenized RWA platform. So what you've got on here is the ability to trade tokenized commodities, stocks, high value items like watches, bags, cars, real estate. It's got the whole concoction. It's basically the low cap version of Ondo. So Limpid, Lympid. And I also have grown to know who is behind this. And that gives me even greater confidence. So he actually got in contact with me a couple of weeks ago, and I've met him before. He was previously in the Utrust team. So he has been part of a very successful cryptocurrency in the past. So that gives me even greater confidence in this. And there is apparently a lot of interest in this platform from big companies that they're connected with. And remember, Utrust was connected with PayPal. So they've got a lot of connections. So I think this is very strong. To me, anyway, if I was going to be making any RWA investments, mine would be, I've got Ondo already, but mine would be, from its current price for the greatest level of returns is Housecoin and Limpid. Solana, there's only one place for this to be. There should be another category called GOAT, and that's what I think Solana is. I think that Solana is the #1 blockchain, really. ICP has the potential to be it. It's got the capabilities of it, but this has got everything. This has got the strong VCs. It produces the good. It walks the walk, talks the talk. It produces the goods. This is the one. You know, as far as I'm concerned anyway. The number one blockchain around. And I think Sui is going to be on course to give us a good battle over time. But Solana, in my opinion, is god tier. It's just amazing cryptocurrency, in my opinion. The best blockchain that exists right now in terms of speed and cheapness and pure action as well. You know, completely kills everything else. You know, Cardano and all the cryptocurrencies that are in its ilk, it pisses all over. Movement is just like Aptos and Sui, but I personally think this is crap myself. Like, I'll put it in go either way, because I don't think it's crap like Jasmy and the others, but I just think that this is just capitalizing on the name, right? On the Move programming language, which is what is really at the forefront of why Sui is god tier, and why Aptos, it was a potential rival. And Movement is exactly the same. I'm going to put it in could go either way. I don't think it's going to make explosive multipliers. It's never going to be a Sui. In fact, I'm going to just put it in crap overall. Aerodrome, so many people love this. It's a DeFi app. So this is a way of, it's a decentralized exchange for Base. I just don't see the appeal. It's got great logo, okay name, but not normie appeal. I'd say crap, right? Sandbox, I'd say could go either way. Probably would do a 10x or so. I think Sandbox is exactly the same as Decentraland. Like if gaming does well, if Metaverse comes back, Sandbox will make a return, but it will be like 10x. It's not going to be huge. So, you know, but I'm not going to say it's crap. It's not crap. Tron is just shit. It's just shit, to be honest. You know, Justin Sun is a master marketer, but Tron itself is an absolute steaming pile of garbage, right? It's just awful. There's just way better cryptocurrencies. Gamer Arena could go either way. Again, relies on a gaming narrative. Tits! Crap now. Was good at the time, crap now. ZK Race. I like ZK Race. This is a lot like Myria. So it's a layer 2 for Ethereum, ZK based layer 2, and a horse racing game. All right. So I think that these guys have got great ecosystem growth potential. The game is kind of like the secondary bullish thing about this. But again, without gaming, this will go nowhere. Right. So that's very much how I kind of view it. And that's it. That completes the lot. We've done Flocky, Ondo, SafeMoon doesn't exist anymore, Hex, Cookie, GigaChad, and Sensei. So, that's it, people. What did you think of this list? Let me know in the comments. I'm going to be turning off YouTube now, but if you have any comments, come over to Twitch, look for me on Suppoman, and find me there. If you enjoyed this, leave a like on this video. If I didn't cover the coin that you have, then let me know what coin I should have covered, and let me know what your favourite coin is at the moment. Till next time, people, I've been the Suppoman, and you've been amazing. Join me on Twitch if you want to chat now. Till next time, it's lights out, all out.